got it? Yeah, fine. Yidden Hashem Kol Mevakshei Hashem. So, the main condition, Mama Picha like Nama, Ela Ima Picha. The Shashem with his book, and I say, Yadiko, Yemen say, and so that's what he does. He should have a big with the Mako, because of the Habuh Mama Litvak Shiny. When I said cover the with the Mako, they came to the Mama Litvak Shiny. They said those are also Emes. The Mama Mako, Rosh Yeshivah Emes. Rosh Yeshivah Letaheir. And we say Yeshivah make a Rosh Yeshivah Emes.
Especially the same thing.
We find that the Rosh Yeshivah is Emes. So when we find that the Rosh Yeshivah Hashem because Baruch has gesagt, Moshe Rabbeinu, Eke Asher Eke. What's Shem Eke Asher Eke? So, say, Hashem says it's going to be what it's going to be. The Shvat Emes says that Eke is 21, something like that, 20, and the other Eke is also 21. So 21 times 21 is 441, so Gematria Emes. Rosh Varcha Emes.
Wow.
And then Asher is Rosh. So this is Asher is Rosh.
What's the Yid? Asher.
And then Kevin at Dvar Shem Moshe, so you can darshan the word Varcha. So you have Rosh Varcha Emes. From Eke Asher Eke. Eke times Eke is Emes. Asher is Rosh. And Kevin at Dvar Shem Moshe, you darshan the word Varcha. Rosh Varcha Emes.
That's yours.
So Rosh Varcha is Rosh Varcha. So what says Dvar Shem Moshe? Because Baruch says to Moshe Rabbeinu, the Shamalei Saver, you shouldn't go to Eretz Yisrael, you shouldn't go into that land. What's pshat in that? So Moshe Rabbeinu had an emes sticky roots to go to Eretz Yisrael. Why? Because his arm is going into Eretz Yisrael. So what? He wants something from Kodesh Baruch Hu. Oysa Vakish, he asked the Kodesh Baruch Hu for that thing, and he was more from David the Melech. There was nobody like Moshe Rabbeinu, and David the Melech said, V'ani Silo. How much more so Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to the Yidden again to Eretz Yisrael, please let me go. And Kodesh Baruch Hu says to him, the Shamalei Saver, with the Pshat. The Baruch Hu says in the Shamalei Saver, maybe he's not going to have to go over there at all while he's there because that's where the Shara Shemayim is. Maybe he doesn't have to go to that Shara Shemayim. The only place to go is there Sham, there Eretz Yisrael. He had a special place in Shemayim, and Kodesh Baruch Hu took him to there, and he didn't even have to go to the Shara Shemayim in Eretz Yisrael. And this is what the Chussid says, the Shamalei Saver, he doesn't have to go to that place, he doesn't need to. He's not going to need to go to Eretz Yisrael, he's going to be able to go there, and the Yom Hasham Moshe, so the Baal Shem says that he was Yom Hasham, V'chayim Mokim Acher. Yom Hasham, V'chayim Mokim Acher means he died over there. But Ein Mitzvah Tzadikim. So he kept on living. And this is the Emsdike Zach, the person, even if he's a big tzaddik like Moshe Rabbeinu, he doesn't always know what's good for him. So when a person davens, sure, davening has to be be'ez ha'ma'aser, not be'ez ha'ma'aser. If a person is davening for something that's wrong for him, so for sure, because work is going to give him some money, that's not the right thing. But how can a person even avoid this? Just said that it should be l'taiva. We have to be mevakshei from Hashem every second. A lot of times when a person comes to a point in life where he feels like he doesn't need tefillah, this is the time where he needs tefillah the most. A person feels in life like he's doing good in the Avodas Hashem, he's doing good, he's defeated and everything's good. He's doing probably the worst at the time. And the time where he feels like he's doing the worst, sometimes he's even doing the best, because that time he actually realizes he's doing the worst. He realizes what he's doing and he can come closer to the Yeshivishe.
Opposite the track, I mean, what's the...
Opposite the track, yeah. Everything that a person is mashiv in his life can get him closer to the Yeshivishe, especially if he's mashiv, turning Yeshivishe, the most important thing to be turned in Yeshivishe. So, Kodesh Baruch Hu took us out of Eretz Yisrael, right? So the mitzvah there, right, is to be masked this Yitzhak. Kodesh Baruch Hu said in Parshas Re'eh, Hinei nice mismachim hayoyim bruchi kol. Hayoyim bruchi kol. What's hayoyim? So the Daz Kain said that hayoyim is mamish in olam hazeh. It's a bruch in a kol. It looks like a bruch. It looks like a kol. Olam haba, it's kila brucha. Tikkun Isaiah says in Shizim L'chamesh in the 65th Tikkun for Lag Be'elul, says that the Sitcha Da'it Tzad Teivira Chad Rav Chad Tov. The Sitcha Da'it Chaim Tavai Chaim. So Vishmer, when we're talking about Da'it Tzad Teivira Chad Rav Chad Tov is Misaber, right? Because, okay, fine, Da'it Tzad Teivira. But when it comes to the Eitz Chaim, when we say Eitz Chaim, and this is Torah, and Torah is all good, so maybe you would think that Torah has only Ein Sitra, and we don't have Tevai. What's the solution Tevai? So, the answer is, the Tevai is the Bruch in the Klula. Why? Because what looks like a Bruch in the Klula in Eilam Hazeh is Lav Dafka a Bruch in the Klula, because we Kula Bruch. How does the Kula Bruch? The person has to be madlik himself to Simcha. If a person is madlik himself to the Midah of Simcha, everything is a Bruch. How do we know? The Yidden says in Aluchis that when a person wants to make a Bruch off a new thing, there's no Bruch for a Siyum. We don't have. We don't have. But when a person has a simcha and he wants to make a bruch of that simcha, what does he do? So he buys a new thing, he buys a new zach, and he can make a bruch on that thing, and with that shechiyoni he can be tied to the simcha. So I have now new shoes, I'm going to say without Shem Malchus, and now it can be tied to the beautiful simcha of the Siyum. So
why shouldn't you make whatever Shem Malchus?
He says that if you have something you can't make a bruch on, so you make without Shem Malchus. As long as it's bringing me the simcha. These I got nice shoes. So Baruch Hashem, I can make without Shem Malchus as a current to the simcha of a Siyum. So also a person can be madlik himself to other simchas in life, because just like every simcha doesn't have a bruch mesiyamos for that simcha, so too everything in life doesn't have a simcha mesiyamos for that thing. Some things we don't have a simcha for. I can't find a simcha for this crazy thing that happened to me. What am I going to do?
What do you mean I can't find a simcha?
I can't find a simcha. Something very, very not good happened. It looks like it's not good. I can't find a simcha to fill this, to make me be simcha about this. No way. No way. The big earthquake destroyed my house. I don't know. I'm not at the level I can understand the right? So how is the person going to be simcha? So he has to be madlik himself to one thing. You say Yismach come Mevakshei Hashem in Mishlei. Rashi says on this, yeah, right? Yisrael Hashem can show you Yismach Zayim Mevakshei Hashem. Yismach. So Baal Zeh says Rashi, V'haiti b'yochel yismayach boi, Misha Mevakesh LaHashem B'leiv Shol Mekach. With that, he's going to be able to be the mitzvah of Simcha. How? Because he's a Mevakesh Hashem. Be a Mevakesh Hashem. This is the one thing that's going to help a person go over everything in life, is to be Mevakesh Hashem. So we say the Tia Gro in his beer over there, that Simcha is something that this Simcha, when we say Yismichi, is that he's Zoichet to be Masker Hashem. Even though the person is Zoichet to be Masker the Shem Hashem, so it has to be a Simcha. There's no Simcha like this. The Ben Yishchai says on the other hand that a person couldn't say, I have someone no Simcha like Simcha Shel Mitzvah. When I do a mitzvah on the Simcha, it's not true. Simcha is a mitzvah b'snei atma, and the person has to be mekayim that mitzvah k'dei to get schar tzvai on it. This is the word mamish of the Ben Yishchai.
It's not it's the mitzvah line.
Not the thing, it's a mitzvah line. Simcha is a mitzvah. And the ikr is to be a Mevakesh Hashem. How does a person be a Mevakesh Hashem? I'll tell you in Shaila. So, you can say like this, that we have a person in Tehillim, Einay Tumid El Hashem. My eyes are always to Hashem. What does it mean? There's two ways a person can have. You can have Ein HaToiv. Ein HaToiv is an Ein to Hashem, not Hashem. Ein HaRuch Hashem is that a person is looking down on another person. The most important thing in the world for the Gans Klal Yisrael is to always look up at Hashem, to never look down to another Yid. Ever. Why? Because if you, let's say, there's a Yid, he's a Shem Tov mitzvah for the most part, keeping Shabbos, keeping Kashrut, obviously Tziyoni, he's a real Tziyoni, like a real big, so for us, the worst thing, right? For sure we have to be Mechanos for kids. It's not right, it's not the risk of your diet. On the other side, have to know, not everybody's Zeicha to learn when they're little in Satmerer or in the Yeshiva teaching the right diet. Not everybody's Zeicha. So the people that aren't Zeicha, they grow up a different way, and they grow up with different mistakes.
We need to look in the Kita Morim from the Tanya, on Perek Lamed Beis, where he says that the mitzvah of Ahavas Yisrael is always, even though someone is sinning, but if he is kept in kefir and chad v'sholem, then the mitzvah of Ahavas Yisrael doesn't apply.
Sure.
So it's not so Okay, but keep out.
Okay.
Let me.
So how can you say a person's doing kfir if he doesn't know what he's doing?
If he doesn't know, then he's never gekosher. Never. It's such a pity. Yeah, but okay.
You can't be Moshe Chalev with somebody that's not, let's say, Shem.
I'm just repeating the words of the Tanya. So
Okay,
I'm only his.
But it could be that when he's saying kfir, it's much deeper kfir. Kfir can mean like something like saying being comfortable with the kfir. I can understand.
Saying that Judaism is independent and the lying in Frank Organic Lima signing, saying that we are now.
That's what you said, that they didn't grow up. Like
but they took.
They're not saying nothing.
They took a kid.
They're not saying nothing.
They're not knowing nothing. So
They're not a little.
They're not nothing. They're not finished.
They're not a Siyum.
A little kid.
Yeah. He's not a Siyum.
Okay, fine. So
That's
what you
can go ahead.
That's what he tried to get the
They took him in school and they taught him this.
Welcome to Williamsburg.
And he never heard anything. Everything else. So he has this
Interessant, die Kinder moeder beide van elkaar. Ik schrijf gewoon naar binnen. Dat is wel interessant. You can go ahead. You're fine.
No, that's what he tried to get across.
I'm happy to every word what you're saying, and I wanna listen ahead.
You want to make him a good.
Just have a comment.
It doesn't have to do so much. That's the little change.
I don't know.
And it could be.
I don't know if the Tanya was a Sefardi. I don't know. Okay,
Tanya.
I just quoted.
Baal Tanya is not Litvak. Nothing.
No, Kutamurim.
Nein, the Kitta Morim.
Oh, Kitta Morim.
Yeah, he knows it by heart. He has a shear every day.
Kitta Morim.
The
Kitta Morim, Painik Lamed.
Okay, yeah.
That's by the quarter, but I want to listen ahead because it's Hashem says it.
It's just want to.
So you're not.
Yeah, the thing.
If you take him on the side and start yelling at him.
Didn't do anything wrong, you're like, I'm sorry.
Anything wrong.
You took my words out of context.
Take
the right wording. Both. Everybody says he just tried to explain what you. Okay.
So now you take this here, who's never in these crazy days, and you start screaming at him. He doesn't even know what the kaifer is. He doesn't understand. He thinks keeping Shabbos and trying to keep Kedusha and Tahara, trying to be close to the Yidden and fighting crazy milchumas in my connection with Hashem. It shouldn't be mastered, dying Hashem and all kinds of zaken. And he's learning Torah and he's sitting and he's trying to be real firm. And you're coming and you're screaming at him, and you can't. His ears, it doesn't go in. It doesn't go in here. Other, on the other side, you take your ears. Come to me for Shabbos. Maybe even without a Habuh Letaheir. You can even be Yaitzel, the fear of Balatani, you can say without a Habuh Letaheir. You don't bother him. But you take him for Shabbos. Take him for Shabbos in the house. As long as he's not going to have a Baal Shem Tov on the kids. He explains to the kids, not as from that, he doesn't have the schir to be like us. But we have to make sure we try to focus. And you focus on what you have together. You both have Shabbos, both keep your Shabbos. You're not turning on the light, you're not turning on the light. He's making Kiddush, you're making Kiddush. And he never saw in his life a real Shabbos. When he was a kid, they were talking about the baseball games, they were talking about this, they were talking about that in Shabbos. And here now he's seeing his mirrors and his knives, his geschmack, and now he's going to a kish and he's coming back home and he's seeing a real Emerskite, and Yiddishkeit, he's seeing Yidden, thousands of Yidden. The Satmerer is chuckling next to the Rebbe, and they're singing, and it's beautiful. And he starts to cry, and he's thinking twice about himself, and he goes home. So this for sure is a very, very easy way to be Mekayah. How do I know? I have a Rai V'atzmi. I also was not so firm when I was growing up, and I don't tell anybody, but especially not in Yeshiva. But when I was once in Satmerer, I was 14 years old, and I was going with big tzitzis, and I was going, not with the head, with a little platschke, a little whatever you call it, and I looked like, probably, I had a little chip in the front, I looked maybe like a kid that would have a very bad influence on any of your kids, even though I had tzitzis, I had these sneakers, I had these pants. But there was one very special Yiddish Shlomo Cohen. He didn't look at me like for my clothes or anything. You have a place to eat tonight. And Taka was going through a very, very big experience, and I didn't have anything to eat, and a lot of times I wasn't eating anything. And that night, instead of not eating anything, or spending something I didn't have to eat, so So I saw he had his kids with him. It was probably safe to go. He went with his kids in his car, and we went to his house, and he gave me a little slice. First he gave me fish, then he gave me flesh, and I didn't chop. I did by accident. I knew you can't mix fish and flesh, but I put first my fish fork in the flesh. I was so hungry, and he smiled at me. Don't worry about it. You get your new fork. He gave me a new fork. He was so happy. Everything's okay. Don't worry. And just having. I had with me a guitar. It looked like such Shlomi Cohen.
Did you ever met him since then?
No.
Never?
No. I looked like a real bad, like if I saw myself now, I'd be like, wow, this is shocking, you know, like a really bad kid. And he's...
I can confirm
that.
With
me, and he told me, he said, yeah, you know Shlomo Carlebach. Okay, we know who Shlomo Carlebach is now, but I didn't know. So I said, yeah, sure, I know Shlomo Carlebach. They wanted to play Niggin. I said, show me even I saw, and we were playing, and we were singing, and the kids were coming, and somebody came, he left his ribs at the house, he had to come, and he had to get it. And I was so, I couldn't believe what I've seen. Give me fish and chicken. I don't even know if he had the kind of money to give me what he gave me, but he gave me mamash a Shabbos either. And I don't understand. Now I'm a Chussid Shabucha. I'm learning in Lakewood. Now I'm going to Chazay Nothing in Mevakshei Hashem, and I'm living by Mamash Rebbe. My last name is now Lisser, but I wouldn't be Usher Lisser. It'd still be the same Shach Devishel. If I didn't have somebody like Shlomo Cohen, who knows what it would be. I can't say what it would be, but you never know. So this is.
He's going to Where is he?
Huh? I don't know. Yeah.
I think he was a malach or something.
Maybe. Anyway.
You have to describe me how is he a tall man?
Tall man, yeah.
A nice beard, a black beard?
No, orange, I think.
No, Shlomo Cohen.
Yeah.
Is a from guy?
No, it's
I don't remember.
Wow.
Myrtle sheep.
But
how many years ago was it?
3 years?
4 years ago.
4 years
ago. Wow.
But maybe more, I don't know. But the Nikita is that people don't start Teichaka always like to scream. But Teichaka has a word in it, Teich. Should go.
You sure his name was Shlomo Cohen?
Yeah. You should go inside. You should go inside. You should go inside. This is Teichaka. And how you go inside? Invite him to Shabbos. You give him a Siyum. You do a Chesed. Everybody understands the meaning of Chesed is Makif HaKol. Why? Because everything that Kodesh Baruch Hu does is Chesed. We should also try to make everything Yiddish is Chesed. And this is the biggest key in the world. The person can come, and we say, now we're coming in the hour, we see the Tzedakah, Mavim, Tzedakah, Exayah, Tzedakah. So the Baal Shem Tov says in the Satmerer that it's not going to be Mavik the Exayah itself, it's going to be Mavik the Exayah that was Mavik Mash Chussid the Exayah, the Rachman. It should take what was written for Din to Rachman. And this means that, like Moshe Rabbeinu, he wasn't Mavik the Exayah, he didn't scream to Hashem as Mavik the Exayah, but with his tefillah, we don't know what Moshe Rabbeinu davened, but whatever it was, we see that he was even too high to go to Eretz Yisrael. He didn't chab, but he died in the shikha from the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and he had something much better than he asked for. Because tefillah, when a person davens, shiva tefillah tzedakah, it's mavi the roya gzayra, it's mavi the gzayra l'rachim. We're still excited. We still thought that there was something that was not good, and it happened to be the best thing in the world. The person never knows what's coming to him in life. He never knows where he's going, what he's doing, how he's carrying himself. But one thing everybody knows is the midas and chesed. Everybody knows how to be nice to somebody. Everybody knows how to care. And the Habuh Letaheir is mamash a mitzvah. Like k'maycha, you have to love yourself a little bit. You have to know what it is. The love, the willingness, and readiness, and the need. A person has mamash a tzarech to give to other people, to always give and to give. They asked the Baal Shem Tov, that what's more important, that you should love another Yid, or you should love a Kodesh. So the Baal Shem Tov said that it's more important obviously so to love another Yid. Why? Because when he's loving another Yid, so he's loving what Kodesh Baruch Hu loves. If a person has somebody he really loves, I don't know, let's say you have somebody that really loves Rebbe, and you want to have something kind in common with this person. He really loves the Rebbe, he gives his whole life to bake the Rebbe, and he loves them. It's not real because it's impossible to love the Rebbe, but maybe you love him. You really love him, and I want to have something in common with you. You think he's the best person, and you give him everything, and you try. So now, if I love you, you're going to be happy, or if I love him, you're going to be happier. If you really love him, you're going to be happier if I love him. So Kodesh Baruch Hu is even happier when we love another Yid. That we're not thinking, oh, I have to learn now, go away. No, person should be sitting and learning, yes. But when it comes to Eid Lasis Hashem, he gets up and he goes. And this is something that we can all learn from now. I'm sitting in Williamsburg. Every year can change big things, big people. It can make a lot of tzaddikim. There's a lot of heilige Yeshivas in Klal Yisrael. And I'm not saying this to ask me. My father, Rebbe, is very into this, taking young kids in Bnei Brak and Cholon, kids coming from Israel to make a family, and he's putting them in Panovich and in Slobodka and Das Yeshivas. There's a kid mamish from not from the families. You can look at the Sefardi, it's Tiske Benishchai. It's written by a Rebbe named Litvak who was in public school in 5th grade. He took him out from public school and he put him in yeshiva, and he became a Talmud Chussid from Rebbe. We never know what to believe from another person. We never know what to believe from another Neshumas. We know that the Baal Shem Tov loves Yid no matter what. We might not have this mitzvah to have Yid, but Hashem does. And if we take it extra and we try to love, and we try to give, the Baal Shem Tov should be much culture.
Shkeach.
Almost half million. So my father comes in, so you is prepared to make the Siyum.
Yeah.
So we'll keep on.
Was schwitzt ihr so? Ja, ist gut. Ja.
The name.
That's what my life is.
That's a conversation.
Mach nur das. Nein, da ist es. Noch eine, nein? Was geht denn so?
Ah, Scheiner.
Noch eine, nein?
Ja, wenn man nah nieder. Gelukkig in Baal Shem Tov, dat ze doen nah nieder.
We have to thank Hashem that we have the merit to have such a buchet.
We had also
His mamish. I never met such a.
Okay, you can start with Siyum.
Burcha Pozoino, Lahaini Veila Foilam, Shahako, and Ni, and Burach.
Come on.
also in Tum Kiyat, in Meshim Keisa, so Rashi says there that the Tumim, that you should go with Tmimit, whatever comes in life, you should be in the Kabbalah. That is English. Hazim was the condition of that Allah can say condition of that he doesn't let the condition like itself from none they don't then Allah can say condition not Hazim that Allah can say condition like that from none they don't let the condition like itself from none they don't then I don't know Hazim was the condition that Hazim alone that Allah can say condition that none let me not the condition like itself from none none, like on the den, like on the use of back of them, and like trying to set it straight and trying to do that, and when you let them go. And either the puzzle, then the puzzle, nothing the puzzle, hide the puzzle, as well as the puzzle, nothing the puzzle, what is the puzzle, physical puzzle, as the puzzle, there is the puzzle. How is not, the Hani has to go to set the lead and fear some provided blood and then we're going to nothing to Hani. Because I am provided blood and God's man is nice as this one, and God has many places, the killer and really filling this, he can't one day, the long day is captured, that he won't keep filling with her for the never dying, he can't man, 7 well. Wait a minute, look how they know the Hani, she's handled again, the Israel guys, the Midrash, later on again, the Israel Kunai, shouldn't have given the Amish scheme. I'm just giving David Taylor, I'm just giving the time. When the mind, then the mind comes cold, then the mind then comes cold. And the God man wrote him. Und das mit kein Welt machen. Dann wird in der Schacht schnell mal da. Elohim soll in der Schacht dann sie mir mir. Weil die mein war nicht davor. He do times make what Elohim in the high. Chance is that on the time that gives condition can't have any ask and such as for time. The time with my love is that life is kind of come by time is that the script called the number and then having familiar because we have these values is like finish attending me value in the value as item this can be this last but I'm sorry from such position right it's so easy because it's also even we might is we see the such nice kind of in the very right so that I can and then do and should
Amen.
Anything you want, sit and to learn. Simcha. Down to Jesus.
Oh my. Burach is Burach. Kijk, if you fly, not to fly.
All the groups they give him is applies to mirrors. Okay?
For everybody, we share
Always
together.
so. Everybody.
He was talking, it's very important to live, to love each other. If you love each other, then we